Today I'm going to show you how to make the Cheshire Cat. In order to make him, you will need about 21 of the fuchsia colored bands, or you can just use a dark colored pink, and then about 105 of a light colored pink, and 56 purples and 7 whites. I also used for him 2 yellow e-beads and 1 red e-bead. I don't use the beads very often, but in this case it just worked well with his face. So if you have e-beads, those are the colors that you would need. If you don't have e-beads, then you can always use yellow bands and a red band. So if you want to get your supplies together, we can go ahead and get started. The first part that we're going to create today is his tail. In order to do that, you're going to start at the top of your loom, and you're going to be using a light pink band, and we are going to single double, coming down from the top center peg to the second center. And the whole tail uses single bands, so these will not be double bands. And then we're going to come down again with another light pink from the center second to the left second, and repeat that on the other side. And then coming down with 3 light pinks. So one light pink from the second to the third, 1 from the center, and 1 from the right. We're now going to switch to purple. So we're doing 1 row of purple across. And we're repeating this pattern pretty much all the way to the bottom. So a row of pink, and then purple, and then switching to pink, purple, pink, and then back to purple, and then pink again, and then purple again, and then we're going to finish this section off. We won't be going to these 2 pegs here, so your last set of pinks will go to the center peg to close it off, and another one there, and 1 in the middle. We're going to cap this off, creating 3 loops. 1, 2, 3. And then we are going to place some crossover bands. So we're starting on the 3rd peg from the top with a single purple, coming across in a triangle, and then pink. And you're just going to repeat that all the way down, alternating the colors. So it's purple, pink, purple, pink, purple, and then pink, purple, pink, purple, and a pink on the very last 3. And this is what you should have. Once your bands are in place, we can go ahead and start looping. So you're going to go in under your capping band, grabbing the first single band that goes forward, and we can go ahead and loop that all the way up. And coming back to the bottom, grabbing the next single, mine goes to the right, and I'm going to go ahead and bring those all the way up. And then going back down and doing the left. And then going in, grabbing the single double band and pulling it onto itself. And then you want to go ahead and release it. And there is his tail. We're going to go ahead and set that aside for later. The next two things we need to make are his hind legs and his ears. And just to let you know, these ears are the same ears that DIY Mom uses on her Piglet or her pig video. And I have already spoken with her, and she said that I could go ahead and use them. If you haven't seen her pig video, go to her YouTube site. It is really a cute video. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make one of each, and then you can just pause the video and make one more hind leg and one more ear after we've done that. So to make the hind leg, you're going to start on the top of the loom on the left hand side. You're going to use 3 of your light pink bands coming down once, and then 3 purples, and then 3 pinks, and then the last one is 2 purples, and we're going to cap that off to create 3 loops. So 1, 2, 3, and we can go ahead and just loop that up. And that creates the second hind leg. So you can just go ahead and pause the video and make another one of these, and then we'll go ahead and work on the ear. So the next thing that we're going to work on is the Cheshire Cat ear. In order to do that, you're going to start at the top of the loom, and in this case we are going to be using the fuchsia colored bands, or if you have a darker pink, but I'm using the Rainbow Loom Fuchsia. So you're going to start up here, take a single fuchsia and create a triangle, and we are then going to do a single double on the left side and another single double on the right. We then want to place a single light pink band from the first to the second center peg, and then taking another fuchsia single double, and you're going to create a triangle from the second center to the second left and the second right, and then take your hook and pull it into a diamond shape under the third center peg. We then want to place a capping band right here. We're going to be creating 4 loops. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Once everything is in place, we can go ahead and start capping, or looping, I'm sorry. when you go in under here, remember this is a single band, but this is a little different than the normal looping process. So you're not going to grab the whole band, you're actually going to divide this into two, if you can see that here. And I'm going to take one piece, and you want to pull gently because this is going to create a lot of tension. One piece is going to the left, and then one piece of that same band is going to go to the right. Just like that. And we want to take our single pink and go forward. Coming in on the right and the left. And then this again was a single band, but we're still going to go in. We're going to bring one side to the center and this side as well. And this should bring it all together. You then want to release your tension. Grab a holding hook, pulling it off, and then just pull the ear out, and that will give it its pointed look that you see here. So go ahead and pause the video, make a second ear, and then we can continue on. The next part that we're going to create is the Cheshire Cat's head, which will be done separately from the body. So we're going to start at the top of the loom with 2 fuchsia bands. And we're going to repeat that going to the right. And then coming down with 2 fuchsia bands, once on the left, once on the right, and then in the center. We are then going to switch to the light pink, coming down twice on the left, twice on the right, and then coming into the chin peg, and then filling in the center. And these are all 2 bands. We then need to create the extension pieces for the sides of his face. So in order to do that, we're going to take 2 pink bands, and you can just go right below the face, and we're going to come down 3 times with double bands. Repeat that again on this side. And we're going to cap that with 3 loops. So 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Once we've done that, we can go in under the capping band and just loop them up. Apparently that was not on tight enough. We then want to take them off. And we are going to hook them, one on each side, 4th peg down on the left and fourth peg down on the right. Then take your hook, go in through the capping band, and pull that up to the second peg on the right, and this one will be pulled to the second peg on the left. We then can go ahead and place the ears on the top left and the top right. We also need to make his mouth. Well, it's part of his mouth. So anywhere on the bottom of the loom, you can use the bottom is probably the easiest. You're going to take 2 white bands coming down from the second peg from the bottom to the very last peg in the center. Repeat that on the other side. And we're going to cap it, creating 3 loops. So 1, 2, 3. And then you're going in through the capping band, pulling it onto itself. And repeating that as well on the other side. And then you can go ahead and just leave that there for a minute. Now, in order to create the eyes, I'm using the 2 yellow E-beads. I'm going to take a single pink band and pinch it. And then you're just going to thread it through the center of the bead. Once I've done that, I just line this back up and push it all the way through. And these will go from the second peg on the right to the second on the left. You then want to separate them and take your hook through the middle, pulling it up over the second center peg. Then to do the nose, same thing, take a single pink and feed it through the red bead, and this will go from the third peg on the right to the third peg on the left. We also need to place a capping band at the bottom, so take a single light pink and create 3 loops. Now before we can place the mouth, we need to loop up the first set of bands. We're then going to take the mouth off the bottom. And we're going to hook the 4 loops from one side on the third peg from the top on the right, and the other 4 loops will go on this peg on the left. So like this. And as you can see, mine got twisted. That we don't want that to happen. So let me fix this side. Just like that. And then pulling the capping band down over the 4th peg from the top center. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and loop up the center of the face. You then want to go back into the capping band, and we're going to loop up the left. stopping at the ear, and repeat that on the right. We then need to create the tuffets of hair on the top of his head. So in order to do that, this is your choosing. You can do more, you can do less. But you take a single fuchsia band. We're going to create 2 loops. I'm then going to pull that on to a single double fuchsia, like this. I'm going to repeat that again. Sometimes these bands get stuck together. And one more time. And then you're going to put your hook in, grabbing the bottom 2 through the ear, and I'm going to pull these onto that band. And then we're going to repeat the same step on the other side. So 2 loops, single double, two more loops, single double, and 2 more, single double, and then I'm going to pull these onto this band. Just like that. You're then going to take a single fuchsia and go through the top to create your slip knot. And we can remove his face from the loom. And when you pull your top band, it usually will curl up and spring back. So as you can see, it kind of blends in with his tuffets of hair. So there's really no need to hide that. Go ahead and push his nose through the bands. And then we need to extend out his mouth a little bit. So all I did to do that is I'm going to take a single white, and I'm going to stick my hook through the back right in this area here. So I want to come out right through there and pull this end through. And then we're going to go up here into the upper corner of the cheek, grabbing the other end and pulling that side through. Some people like to secure them. That is totally up to you. if you want to do that. Mine generally aren't played with by my younger children, so little bands like that, I don't need to secure them in place. And you want to repeat the same thing over here. I love when I get hair stuck in my bands. Just like that. And that right there creates his face. Okay, now we can move on to the body and finish up our cat. So we're going to start at the top of the loom again. Grab some more of these. And we are going to start here with the light pink bands. The body will be 2 bands unless I specify otherwise. So we're coming down to the right, or I'm sorry, to the left. And again to the right. And then coming down in one row with 2 bands each with the light pink. And now we're going to 2 purple. The center will have 3 purple. And then 2 purple on the right. 2 pink on the left. Three pink in the center. And 2 pink on the right. Two purple on the left. 3 purple in the center. And 2 purple on the right. We're then doing 2 pink on the left, 2 pink in the center, two pink on the right, two purple on the left, 3 purple in the center, 2 purple on the right, you then want to take 2 pink coming in to the center peg, repeat that on the right side, and 2 in the center there. We're then coming down on the legs. With 2 pink on the left, I'm sorry, it's 3 pink on the left and 3 on the right. Three purple on the left. And 3 on the right. And then switching back to 2 pink. And then 2 purple. And we're going to cap the bottom of the feet off creating 3 loops. So 1, 2, 3. And on the other side, 1, 2, 3. We also need to place a capping band right here. We're going to create 3 loops with a pink. 1, 2, 3. Now we want to place the hind legs up here on the first peg on the left and the first or second peg on the left, as well as the first peg on the right and the second peg on the right. If you look at your legs, you have 2 sets of 3 bands here. So we're going to place 3 on this peg. And 3 of them on this peg. Just like that. We're going to repeat that on this side. Sorry. Just like that. And we also need to place his tail. We'll just place that here on the very first peg on the center. We then need to place some crossover bands. So we are going to start up here on this second peg with a single purple band in triangle, and then just alternate your colors down. So a pink single triangle, purple, single pink, single purple, and a single pink, stopping right there. The head will be placed once we loop up the bottom portion of the body, so we can go ahead down under the capping bands of the feet and loop this up. Stopping right there. And same thing on the other side. You then are going under this capping band here, grabbing your first 2 bands. Now, this is where we're going to place the head. So we want to take the Cheshire Cat's head and stick your hook through the capping band on the bottom of his head, and we want to place his head face up. So it's going to go on just like that. And this is on the 7th peg down from the top of the loom. Once you've done that, it's probably, no. Okay, so now we need to loop these bands here. I don't remember having to do this last time. I'm sorry, I did that wrong. Hook his face facing down. I knew there was a reason that wasn't coming out right. You're going to hook his face down on this peg so that you're able to reach in and grab your 3 purple bands, just like that. Okay, and then once you've done that, you can go ahead and loop straight up to the tail. And then we want to go back down. And loop up his sides. And do same thing on the other side. Okay, once we've done that, you want to grab a single light pink band, go through the bottom, and create your slip knot. So pull this in through the top. You're going to pull, the best way to do this is to pull the tail out, going through those bands that are hooking to the peg. Grab the bottom, and then create your slip knot. And there goes my band. I'm having the worst luck with bands tonight. They're flying all over my house off the loom. Let's try that again. Okay, once we've done that, we can go ahead and remove him from the loom. And then you can take the band and pull the tail through, going up underneath, and then hiding that up inside the body. See, if you're going to have people, or children for that matter, that are going to play with these, you might want to secure them for the higher half of the smile, because now mine are just popping out. Then the final touch that we need is to take your Sharpie and carefully draw your black dots on the center of the yellow beads. Just like that. And then my one band is going to break free again. And there is the Cheshire Cat. I hope you like him.